talking about cybersecurity and safe documentation innovations. Now, that is obviously quite a specific, but at the same time very wide field. And we will have 3 companies represented that will tell you more about what exactly they do and what kinds of innovations they bring to the scene. So let's welcome on stage, first of all, the CTO of LeverID, Sean Arries, the Director of Business Development of Cert-Trace, Waqar Ahsan, and the CEO and founder of Avokaado, Mariana Hagström. Ladies and gentlemen on stage, lovely to see you. Of course, we will have time for some statements and so on, but first I think we have a small introductory video so that we can take a closer look at the companies.
LeverID provides a future-ready, highly secure digital identity and signature platform. Their cutting-edge product offers a single access point, whether remotely signing a contract, logging into your e-bank, or even voting in your local elections. The Cert-Trace solution provides the blockchain-powered document digitalization, archiving, and sharing technology. The idea for innovation originally came from the aviation industry, where paper certificates of conformity are still sent around the world along the entire supply chain. Avokaado provides a digital workspace for contract lifecycle management that helps to save time and resources. Their developed solution helps to create and collaborate on documents from a single platform at every stage of document lifecycle.
So Sean, we've just heard a few snippets about LeverID, but I'm sure there is more to the story than 2 sentences. Perhaps you can fill us in.
Yeah, thank you. Again, my name is Sean Arries. I'm the CTO of LeverID. And our product, as was mentioned in the video, is we're a future-ready digital identity and signature signing platform. One of the other key technologies that we integrate into our service is remote identity validation, or in other terms, KYC, if you're more familiar with that term. Our technology utilizes a couple of really cool features that don't exist in the space yet. We're utilizing a next-generation encryption technology called Edwards elliptical curve math to create our digital identity solution. And with that, partnered with our remote identity validation solution, we're able to provide our product to currently around 158 countries around the world, which is much more than the typical PKI infrastructure company that services about 3 to 4 countries or regions. So our goal is to take the technology that has existed here in the Baltics and bring it to the rest of the world. Yeah.
Very well. We will move on to questions later, but perhaps first, Waqar, you can tell us more about Cert-Trace.
Yeah, thanks. I'm from Tracer, and I am Director of Business Development at Tracer, and our product is Cert-Trace. So what we do basically is we use blockchain technology to digitize documents. But we were like, why should we stay only there? So we're constantly innovating, and what we're doing now is basically we're putting our efforts into new technologies, which is we're turning data graveyard to data soil. Well, what is that? Well, basically what is that? It's our effort to make sense of data that's already there. It could be like papers, it could be digital documents, it could be any kind of data. And that data is just screaming to tell some kind of story. The only thing we need is understanding. But once we understand it, then we can solve so many future problems that by making better decisions, on-point decisions, and being efficient and fast. So this is the thing that we're doing. And also, there's a big project going on at Horizon, Horizon project. And they're also looking forward to towards new technologies that are helping, that would help reduce carbon emission in the world. And I think our technology can help that. How? By understanding the patterns, how can we make better decisions? And if we make better decisions, then we'll be more efficient. And once we'll be more efficient, there'll be automatically less carbon emission. So yeah.
So that's a very roundabout way of looking at all of these different aspects, environmental impact, security as well. Very interesting. Mariana, tell us more about Avokaado. You are the CEO and founder, so you should know a bit or one piece or two about what they do.
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Mariana Hagström. Yes, I'm a founder of Avokaado. And I mean, what we are bringing to the table, in addition what the gentlemen were just sharing here, is a new innovative document format. We see in Avokaado that our world needs a paradigm shift. I mean, when we are working with the connectivity, with the data, collaboration with different parties, then we have to support also a connected data layer, the workflows, and we have to bring all this data visible to all the counterparties and help companies to be more efficient. So when we are talking about new document format, it is a layered document format where the other systems could top up their platforms there, and companies in this platform could integrate any system to understand the data there. So basically, when we're making it a very practical example, then let's say when I need to manage a relationship in our revenue operation or in people operation or legal operation, all these documents consist of different stages and a lot of data. And when we are just stepping from one stage to another, then we have to give that also data connectivity, data integrity, and make this data scalable so that every step we are taking further, either to the blockchain or verifying parties which come to that document, then we have to enable that. And that's what we are solving. In general, very much business operation and process-related activities, but it enables future for the internet, for the digitalization, everything what's happening around AI, blockchain. So that's, we see we are changing the paradigm just in the ground, in a document level.
It's very nice that this last panel here at the Expo stage, sorry to break those news to you, this is the last one, it sort of brings us back to the core of trusted connectivity. You know, having the connections, having the flexibility, the interoperability approach to make sure that whatever solutions the client would like to combine, that's a possibility. Before we delve into the here and now, I do have to ask one quick question to Waqar. Aviation history. That's the background of the company, as far as we understood from the introductory video. Of course, now you are promoting it as a more widely usable solution. How did you make that step?
Well, the history is really interesting. So what happened was that when Bill Holler, the CEO of the company, he started Tracert. So he says that when he started the company, Tracert, so the aviation company, when he worked in that company, then he says that he did not bought the aviation company, but he bought a paper company because there was so much paper in there. So imagine that. So then I think at that point the seed was in his mind, and so then he was like, okay, now what can I do to make it better? Because there's a real problem there. He was dealing with that, and so then he started Tracert. And because of this, I think because we have first-hand experience, that's why we understand our clients even better. And that's why we're providing better solutions, and that's why every single day it seems like we're improving really fast. More clients are happy with us, more good reviews. And by the way, I don't want to spoil anything, but we have big partners. We're talking with big people, and in Estonia, I want to say this, that we'll be huge. We'll be huge in few months. You just wait and watch. Yeah.
Sounds promising. Perhaps one question that always arises in my head when we talk about the adoption of new standards, as you mentioned, also for Avokaado, but also for LeverID, quite relevant, I think, is the time that most people, and at the end of the day, companies, organizations, so the public sector, of course, they're run by people. How do you seek to sort of bridge that gap and like speed up the adoption time of a new standard that you hope to set, as far as I understand? Who wants to go first?
Yeah, it's a good question because I mean the biggest thing we have to fight is the change, and this change should be very natural to the businesses as well to adopt. So we shouldn't like change like process and operation so much, and this layer should be invisible to the companies. So basically, I mean, when we were hearing the talks in the EXPO area yesterday as well, and we were talking and hearing about blockchain, I mean, it should be for the end users invisible. So you don't feel like, I mean, working with some kind of different format, which is totally new for us. But it is making life so much easier. And once you experience it and you see that you can use this data connectivity trust and using document format, which basically communicates with any platform or any other step you're taking in one business relationship, you're in, basically.
Yeah, and one more thing I just want to say, I have used Avokaado, even though it seems like on paper we're competitors, but their service is amazing. And you guys are doing an amazing job. And when there are certain people when we're talking to them and there are certain contracts, and they ask us, would you be fine if we send you, because they know we're Cert-Trace, and they send, would you be fine with Avokaado contracts? We're like, yeah, totally. They have amazing product. We would love to use that. So, yeah.
Wonderful.
So with LeverID, our remote identity validation is kind of one of the most innovative parts of our new technology. In current PKI infrastructure type authentication and signature platforms, you know, the user has some in-person portion of that process, and this is to prove their identity to a state authority before certificates or an identity is generated for them in a global space. And so we're utilizing some facial recognition technology to help us remotely identify our users, because remote identity validation is definitely the next step. It allows much more comfort that a user can get registered, sign up from their home in the comfort of their own home instead of having to deal with a state organization. But at the same time, it comes with some new challenges to be able to defeat some of the technology problems. So one of the simplest things to explain is identical twins. Using facial recognition technology and identical twins creates problems. And there's a lot of those little caveats that exist within the industry that we're working to remediate.
So when we look at the bottlenecks that you face in terms of distribution and sort of widespread adoption, is it, I guess for you guys, it's more on the business philosophy and business model side? For you, it's perhaps more government regulation. Can you run me through sort of what you deal with on a daily basis?
Well, for us, we have a lot of regulations and standard within the EU. You know, we have to, we're hoping to become a qualified trust service provider, which requires us to follow EIDAS guidelines and a lot of SD guidelines. So the majority of our product is pretty well regulated with law inside of the European Union. But our product also plans to do business outside of the European Union. And what we can do there is we can bring those same standards of quality and security in our product to regions of the world where this type of stuff doesn't exist yet. And even though they might not have local laws or local regulations, you know, around digital identity or digital signature platforms, we can use that golden standard, which is the EU digital signature.
I think we've seen some wider adoptions. Just as an example, the GDPR, where Brazil and other Latin American countries are now taking this as an inspiration, because it doesn't make sense to have 1,000 different standards that are dealing with the same problem at the end of the day. And obviously that would help companies like those present here on stage today as well. You wanted to add something, or?
Yeah, I would say that to deal with that, what I have noticed is that what you do is you do partnerships with different companies. I think it's always good to work together than against each other. So that's we're open to doing, and I would love to work with Avokaado. We're already in talks with LeverID. So that's amazing. I think that's what digitalization brings: harmony to the world, synergy to the world. So yeah.
You have a thought? I see you nodding a lot, very active.
I'm just agreeing. So, I mean, every time, with Avokaado currently, we don't need to work much with the compliance issues. We are basically helping our customers to onboard them and creating these digital document formats and set up the workflows, integrating data flows, bringing them back to the business, bringing them business intelligence, doing the really work what matters, not inserting manually data into the different systems, uploading, downloading, and putting your time into very no-value jobs.
Perhaps a question to all three of you. What does your average client look like right now, and where do you think there are still a lot of, where is there a lot more potential where you think, well, this should be an excellent use case for a product, but perhaps it hasn't picked up yet for one reason or another?
For us, our perfect customer right now is any kind of business that needs to validate the identity of the customer that they have, and is also looking for a product that can handle creating secure authentication with their applications and secure digital signatures. So we are able to come in and provide that identity management, provide the authentication management, and provide their signature. So that's our ideal customer in the moment.
For us, our ideal customer is, it could be businesses, it could be government organizations, NGOs. I think any business, anybody, any kind of entity that needs their data, their documents safe and secured, like with the highest kind of security, I think those businesses, those people, those governments are our clients. And also because right now we're also innovating, as I mentioned, data graveyard to data soil. I think this is really important because what's going on is that with that data, they'll be able to understand what that data means. You know, like right now, it's just there, dead, and it's like to me, it's like the data is screaming. It's like just do something to me and learn from your own mistakes. So in the future, they'll also be benefiting from that as well. Very soon, though, very soon.
For us, our clients, I mean, basically, I mean, in this room, our clients, like we said, but I mean, we are working with the growth companies who are scaling their revenue operation, people operation, legal operation, compliance, and they are mostly working like globally. They have offices around the world, and they need to keep their like functions on the same page, the data, everything in the same place. Like in the introduction we said, we're keeping all this action and even integrating with your guys' systems. Just we need one workspace where everything is running and you can keep up to date.
This reminds me of, we're slowly drawing to a close, you may notice, time-wise, but this reminds me of the previous conversation that I had with Robert Bjarnason, who was here on stage for the Citizen Foundation, and sort of the different solutions that we can suggest to sort of advance the goal of trusted connectivity. To me, this combination of you three people here on stage seems like an excellent sort of collaboration area where this could really take place. So I hope that you will add your solutions to that table as well, and that the people in the audience will vote on that accordingly. Ladies and gentlemen, it was a pleasure to share the stage with the three of you. Please give a round of applause to the last panel of today.
By the way, I want to say, dude, Florian, you're doing an amazing job. I love that. Yeah.
Thank you very much.